Soulmarks by the Doctor's Wolf. Chapter 2. Arthur. When Gwen first became Morgana's servant, Arthur barely noticed her. She was just another subject to boss around when he needed something done. However, her constant kindness and happiness quickly drew his attention to her. He admired her from a distance and berated himself for his foolish, childish love for a woman he shouldn't even know, let alone care about. Instead of ignoring her, as he should have, his affection only deepened. He began to hope that his royal soulmate would arrive so he could finally fall in love with who he was destined to instead of a mere servant, although he never thought of her as that. After accidentally knocking Gwen over one day, he saw her mark through a rip in her dress. He didn't hesitate to show her his purple crown and couldn't stop the enormous grin on his face. Although he knew their love would cause problems with his father, no one could stop them from marrying. The first time Arthur saw Merlin, he knew there was something different about him, not just the fact that he was the only person that had the courage to stand up to him. He admired Merlin's bravery and stubbornness, but they couldn't stand each other. Two strong-willed people just didn't work together, and they never would. When Merlin saved Arthur's life and Uther made Merlin Arthur's manservant, Arthur was horrified. The idiotic buffoon would serve him. Arthur couldn't picture Merlin as the type of person to take orders from someone all day long, and thought that he would be gone within the work. The morning after the incident, Arthur woke to find Merlin standing in the corner of the room, unsure of what to do, but not timid like the other servants. The first few days, Arthur mostly got dressed on his own, because he didn't trust Merlin to see his strange soul mark that was on his chest. Soon, however, he didn't have a choice. Merlin demanded that if he was going to be stuck being his servant, he should at least do what he was supposed to do. After seeing the mark, Merlin stared in what could only be described as horror. Arthur was about to start yelling at Merlin when he slowly took off his scarf. Arthur could see the head of a dragon identical to the one on his chest and stood there with his mouth open. There was no way this annoying idiot could be one of his soulmates. While they didn't have a grudging respect for each other, they couldn't even be described as friends. Of course, after Merlin drank the poisoned chalice for Arthur, he began to realize that perhaps maybe he could trust Merlin with his life.